here with Marissa Meyer to hear her view of how Google sees the future of newspapers. Is there a profitable future for newspapers online?
I think so. I think that journalism plays a very fundamental role in our society, and that need is not going away. What does need to change is the newspapers need to become a little bit more webby in their presentation, because I think if by doing that they'll actually increase engagement. Having things like Living Stories, which we blogged about just yesterday in partnership with the New York Times and the Washington Post, having something like a news stream that's very personalized, uses all the technology that's on the web to very heavily personalize, that builds on this notion of there's always something to do next, which is true of the web, on Amazon, on YouTube, on Facebook. You bought this, now buy that. You watched this, now watch that. What about you read this, now read that? And portability. People want their news on their digital doorstep now, so it's not just about the newspaper landing on your doorstep and you grabbing it first thing in the morning. Maybe it's on your phone, maybe it's on your desktop. We have to go to where the users are, and so I'm really excited about what these technologies could do when brought together. And I don't know exactly what the solution looks like, but I do think that it has some elements of what we're discussing, and I call it the hyper-personalized news.
How do you think newspapers have done so far on the internet? I mean, when they started on the internet, it was sort of like news readers on TV when they began. They were acting like they were on radio still. Are newspapers getting it more?
We're definitely seeing some advances. Like if you look at the New York Times topic pages, it's starting to approximate what a living story might look like. I think one of the interesting things to learn from is Wikipedia. Growing up, it was very clean. News covered events. Encyclopedias covered people, places, and things. And now encyclopedias cover people, places, things, and events. And news is covering people, places, things, and events. But when you look at that, you might say, well, why does Wikipedia do so well on news? And I think part of it is that they have a persistent URL where they do updates, which means that it isn't competing against itself overall in search. And there's not as much repetition and duplication day over day as you often see if you see a classic newspaper article put on a web page. There you might see 5 or 6 instantiations of the same story over time. But I think that when you look at some of the newspapers are being quite progressive in their presentations and really trying to adapt to a more web-savvy model.
What is your message to newspapers who see Google as the enemy? Are you the enemy?
We really are working to be part of the solution. When you look at some of the programs that we built to help support publishers and help monetize Google AdSense, our display platform, our ad exchange, Google Analytics to help you understand how well your site is working and how to monetize it better. These are all parts of us supporting the publisher and in their attempts to monetize their site as well as fulfill their users' needs.
So message to Murdoch, we are your friend?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.